118 in your hymnals. I know whom I have believed. Let's sing it out on that first verse. Here we go. I know not why God's wondrous grace to me He hath made known. For why unworthy Christ in love redeemed me for His own. But I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I've committed unto Him against that day. I know not how in saving faith to me He did impart, nor how believing in His word brought peace within my heart. I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I've committed unto Him against that day. I know not what of good or ill may be reserved for me. Of weary ways or golden days before His face I see. But I know whom I have believed and am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I committed unto Him against that day. Great singing. You may be seated.
Amen. Well, good morning. Welcome to church this morning. Glad you could make it and that you're here. A couple of announcements. So tonight is our business meeting at Foundation Baptist Church, 5:30 in Sammamish, Central Washington University campus there. So do not come here. Do not come here. Everybody's welcome to go there. Members should be there. But don't come here because nobody will be here. And so the way that'll go is we'll have a normal service. We'll probably try to keep it a little bit shorter, and then we'll have a business meeting afterwards. And again, our goal with the business meeting is to get through the business as quickly as possible and make it as painless as possible. But want to make sure that we do go through and do that. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. Also, new announcement, we've got a couples conference coming up in the future, but want to make you aware of it, April 3rd through the 4th. That's a Friday and Saturday. And Bellingham Baptist Church will be hosting it. Brother Sam Davison will be preaching. And a couple reasons why I wanted to invite the church to that. One, Brother Sam is an incredible preacher. It will be good. And two, it's cheap. It's $25 for the event, and that includes, I think, a lunch on Saturday. And you can either stay there and choose your own hotel, and as expensive as you want or as cheap as you want, and get dinner with your spouse on Friday night beforehand. So they'll start the service a little bit later to afford you an opportunity to do that. And it's a good opportunity to invest in your marriage with some good biblical preaching and just time together. So I want to encourage everybody, if you're able to, that would be a good thing to do if you're married. And so that's April 3rd through the 4th, and then there'll be more details coming out, but that's the gist of it. And grateful to have the Buchanans back. Maybe if I could ask Brother Larry if you would open us up in a word of prayer.
Dear Lord, we're just thankful that we could be here in your house today with your people, and we pray that the message would come clear through to us and that we would be willing to apply it to our lives. And we're just thankful for all that you do for us and all your blessings, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. All right, Brother Johnny, come and lead us again.
All right, let's all stand again. Song number 75. God leads us along. In shady green pastures so rich and so sweet.
offering this morning, and let's go ahead and pray now for the offering. Lord, we thank you for an opportunity to gather together here in your name to worship you. I thank you for the blessings that you give to us. I pray that you would receive this offering, Lord, that it be glorifying to you, and that you would multiply it for your purposes. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, let's all stand again. Song number 567. right, that was awesome. Turn over to 553. He hideth my soul.
Thankful for the truth of that hymn. We're going to go ahead and dismiss our juniors with Miss Lori. So while they are exiting, we can go ahead and get ready for our worship time. And so we're going to forward you an opportunity just to worship the Lord, go to Him in prayer, and thank Him for who He is while the piano plays. And then I'll come and conclude us in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, as we conclude in prayer, I'm so grateful that you care, Lord. I'm so grateful that you love us, and you sent your Son to die for us, Lord. And we just acknowledge that great truth today. Lord, that is why we worship you, because you are a loving, righteous, perfect God, and you enable us to have a relationship with you. And for that, we just say thank you. I pray, Lord, that you would be glorified this morning, that you would help us, you would teach us. Your Holy Spirit would do a great work in our hearts, encourage us, rebuke us, whatever is necessary, Lord. And as Brother Larry prayed, I pray that we would invite you in to do a great work, and that we would simply allow you to do that. And then we would go out and do what it is that you have for us. Lord, I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Go ahead and open up to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 16. We're almost at the end. 1 Corinthians 16. Going to be verse 8 through 14 is where we're going to read. Actually, let's back up to 7. So if you found your spot, go ahead and stand if you're able and willing. 1 Corinthians 16. We're going to start in verse 7. Our text is going to begin in verse 8. Paul says, "For I will not see you now by the way, but I trust to tarry a while with you, if the Lord permit. But I will tarry at Ephesus until Pentecost, for a great door and effectual is opened unto me, and there are many adversaries. Now, if Timotheus come, see that he may be with you without fear, for he worketh the work of the Lord, as I also do. Let no man therefore despise him, but conduct him forth in peace, that he may come unto me, for I look for him with the brethren. As touching our brother Apollos, I greatly desire to come unto you with the brethren, but I greatly desired him to come unto you with the brethren, but his will was not at all to come at this time, but he will come when he shall have convenient time. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong. Let all your things be done with charity." Let's go ahead and pray. One more time and we'll begin. Lord, I pray now, I just pray that you would give me unction from your Holy Spirit, clarity, Lord, and that it would be you that does a great work. Lord, that you would use this message in a mighty way. And I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, so this is a section of the letter. I mean, this is such a great reminder, this text, that although the Bible is 100% inspired by the Holy Ghost, he used men and he used circumstances. And this letter that Paul writes right to the Corinthian church, it's not just rich in doctrine and correction and instruction. It's a personal letter to the church, and we see that especially in this text where it's like logistical information on traveling. Like if I were to write you a letter, and not that anybody does that anymore. People forget how to write by hand. But if I were to write you a letter and to talk about, when I could come to you and I desired to see you, that's what Paul's talking about here. And but he gives him his travel plans and gives him some instructions for receiving his associate Timothy. And what truly does seem like mundane logistical information does hold a very important point for this church that has been plagued with strife, division, false spiritual piety, selfish greed, right? Those are all things that have been covered in the letter. In short, they were followers of Christ that were much more like the world that they lived in, Corinth, than their Savior. And the issues in the church reflected that. And so Paul, even in his logistical travel instructions, gives some important information, both there for them and for us. So let's uncover what God has for us as a church this morning and dive into the text. So first, there was a great spiritual opportunity that presented itself in Ephesus. where Paul is now, right, as he's writing this. And he had already told them that, he was planning to come to them. He couldn't come right away. He was going to go through Macedonia, and that was part of our text last week. And in fact, when he went, when he got to them, he expected them to, as a missionary, to take care of him and then send him on his way whithersoever he would go. But now he tells them that he's not leaving just yet, because there is a great opportunity for the work of the gospel in Ephesus. And although he had started this church in Corinth, he personally led many of the Corinthian church members to Christ and stayed there 18 months while teaching them scripture and doctrine. He left after that, and he's been gone for some time. And the Corinthians wanted to see Paul again, so much so that some were upset that he hadn't come back. We saw that back in 1 Corinthians 4:18. It says, now some are puffed up as though I would not come to you. They were offended that Paul hadn't come back to them. So there's some debate on how much they wanted to see Paul, but clearly they wanted him to return, and they're looking for his return, and so much so that some were offended. But he informs them that the work of God that is happening in Ephesus and how God is moving. And he says it's amazing, which, by the way, even though we may long to see someone, we should not but be able to but help, right, when God is doing a great work. And so he tells them, hey, look, there's an effectual great door that is open in Ephesus for the work of the gospel. That's what I've been doing, and I'm going to stay there a little bit longer. And there was gospel opportunity. And so after Corinth, right, Paul had gone to Ephesus. And so much so, if you remember in Acts chapter 19, he instructs disciples of John the Baptist that he finds there in that the Christ had truly come, and they receive the Holy Spirit, they get baptized. He preaches in the synagogue like was his custom. He preaches boldly, Acts says, for 3 months. But many of their hearts were hardened, and they were against the gospel message that he was preaching. And then he was disputing in the school of Tyrannus for 2 years, such that everyone which dwelt in Asia heard the word of the Lord Jesus, both Jews and Greeks, Acts says. But then here's the great thing. God worked miracles. And so God, not only were people hearing the gospel in Ephesus, Jews and Greeks and everybody, God was doing amazing things. So much so that he says that he would have handkerchiefs or aprons that would be given to those that had diseases or had evil spirits, and they would be healed. And by the grace of God, God was doing something amazing. Even at the same time, there were some Jewish exorcists that had come, and they liked the fame, notoriety, and things that were happening to Paul, and so they said, hey, we're gonna start casting out some demons in Jesus' name too. But they got whooped. If you remember that was not a good thing. And so there were some frauds that were in play, but God even manifested the difference between those that fraudulently used his name and Paul and the disciples there. It led to magnification of Jesus and the fear of God so much that many, many people got saved. And when they did, they came and showed their wicked deeds, and there was a great movement of curious arts, the Bible would say, or magic, and those people got saved, and they came to the center of the town, and they brought all their magic books and everything else, put them in the center, and burned them. I mean, God was doing amazing things. And it was a very public renouncement of the things in their lives that were against God. The price, the Bible says, of which was 50,000 pieces of silver. This would be like going into downtown Bellevue and seeing masses of people get saved. They go back to their houses and come back with illicit, ungodly things and start a bonfire. Like, amazing. It was a testimony that says, this is what was wrong in my life, and I want to live for God. By the way, there is no real repentance without getting rid of the junk in your life. That's not the message, but that's what was happening. Real repentance. A real turning to God. It was a great work in Ephesus. And so this is what Paul is talking about. And there was a clear spiritual opportunity here. God was working. But at the same time, he tells us there were many adversaries. There were many adversaries. Right? For it says, for a great door and effectual is open unto me, and there are many adversaries. You know, many of the Jewish community there spoke evil of not just Paul, but the gospel itself. While Paul was preaching in the synagogue for those 3 months, right, it said that the Jews spoke evil against him and against the gospel. And it didn't even seem like much was happening in those 3 months, but Paul just faithfully proclaimed the word of God. Then there were those vagabond Jewish exorcists that I talked about, the 7 sons of Sceva. There were those that were fraudulently, right, trying to claim the gospel for personal reasons. Adversity, right? Isn't it terrible when you see Christians that are on the news or whatever, that there's no righteousness, there's no holiness, there's no love of God. There's nothing that they're displaying as Christ-like, and of course that's why they're the ones on the news. Right? Adversity. It's adversity. There was adversity. And then the big one, Demetrius, the silversmith in Ephesus. See, he was one of the people that made the silver shrines to the false god Diana. And he stirred up the entire city, first starting with the silversmiths, those that made their income, their wealth, right, on the worship of false gods, stirs up the entire city so that Paul and other brethren are, these are dire circumstances, right? So there's a huge opportunity, there's a huge working of God, and yet there is great adversity. Adversity. I mean, we talk about adversity as either a church or personally, and usually personally as Christians, like, I don't get to hang out with the people at work because they think I'm a goody two-shoes Christian or whatever. That's not adversity. That's not adversity. Being stoned, right, left for dead, all the different things that happened to Paul, like, that's adversity. And so God was doing great things in Ephesus, yet coupled with that was also great adversity. You know, God's providential opportunity doesn't mean a lack of opportunity. A lack of adversity. It also doesn't mean a lack of opportunity. That is also true. But in fact, many times, right, God's opportunities and adversity to them are associated in a tightly coupled situation, just like in Ephesus, right? Great opportunity for God. Lot of adversity. Too many times, if things get tough in ministry or even in life, right, we think God must not be in it. God must not be in it. I mean, it's getting tough, right? Well, no, look at what Paul says. Man, I want to stay here a little bit more because God's doing something amazing. By the way, we're feared for our lives every now and again. I mean, that's basically what he is saying, right? God's great effectual door of opportunity does not mean that it's free of adversity. It means we should expect adversity and power through it in God's strength and grace. We should. Paul knew this, and he wants to make sure that Corinthians understand. Because there actually wasn't a lot of adversity that was happening for the Corinthians. They were kind of taking the culture and trying to be part of it within the church. He said, no. Where a lot of times where God works miraculously, there's also adversity. We also need to understand if things get hard, it doesn't mean God isn't involved, right? It might just be that there is a great effectual door of opportunity that God will work some miracles. God will work some miracles. Wednesday night, I told a couple of stories from a missionary I'd met to Jamaica, Brother Rex. I'm telling you, some crazy stuff where he started a church in Trenchtown, and it's Sunday morning. I'm not going to go through all the stories, but where there were hits put on his life. Let's just say that. And then I'll say, that's adversity, right? Where somebody comes to kill you because they were told to by the mafia boss. And then, sometimes we can hear when he says, I have the ability to carry a gun, but I've got the best weapon there is. And in your mind, you're like, yeah, I know that's true, but he really believes it because he's seen time and time again where somebody comes to kill him and he's praying and circumstances just so happen that he's okay. And I mean, just where they blow your mind, somebody's coming after you with a machete or has got a gun pointed at your head or whatever, and he's had all that plus more happen to him. And yet to hear about what is happening in Trenchtown where people are getting saved, where people said white people cannot go. Well, they can, but they don't come out alive. And yet God's doing a great work. Great work. Adversity. Oftentimes they go hand in hand. Adversity will come to the child of God. 2 Timothy 3:12. Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. But praise the Lord that his grace is sufficient. Right? 2 Corinthians 12:9 also says, and he said unto me, Paul says, my grace is sufficient for thee. My strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. And of course, he's talking about what is done in his body, but that's a principle that can be played out across. His grace is sufficient. His grace is sufficient. So he says, hey, I'm going to stay in Ephesus a little while. God's doing a great thing. It's tough. It's tough. But by the way, that's to be expected. It says, while opportunity may mean adversity from the world or the lost, there's one place adversity shouldn't come from. And so he says, I'm going to send Timothy to you. I'm going to send Timothy to you. And this is the main point of the text. Since Paul cannot come to Corinth immediately, he's going to send his son in the faith, right, his protege, Timothy. And even though this letter blasts the Corinthians on multiple issues that they need to get right, Paul loves them. He loves them, and so he's going to send Timothy. He wants Timothy to encourage them, to help them grow in the Lord. I mean, like all the things that he just got done telling them they needed to change, right? That Timothy would help them with that and be an encouragement. And Paul says that Timothy worked the work of the Lord also as I do. And he's saying receiving Timothy is like receiving me. He's a missionary, a servant of the gospel, and that he should be taken care of like he just told them to take care of him. So he's basically saying it's as good as receiving me, minister of the gospel. They had a problem though. And Paul knew this. They didn't want Timothy. They wanted Paul. They were puffed up. Why are you not coming? All right, as he says earlier in the letter. We probably all have favorite preachers. I talked about Brother Sam, who's doing the couples conference. I love the preaching of Brother Sam. I love Brother Joe Decker Jr., who we had here for our missions conference. I love his preaching. I love the preaching of Brother Gaddis, and there are others. And it's okay to have favorite preachers, men that you connect with, either personally and their personality or just the way they deliver the Word of God. Maybe it's not preachers, but just some ministers who have maybe a gentle and loving demeanor, and that every time you spend time with them, you feel uplifted and encouraged. Maybe for some, they're fiery, and you like fiery, right? You just connect with that, and that's awesome. That's wonderful. That's good. Sometimes God just knits our hearts together with certain people, and that's not a bad thing, but we should never get to a point where we think it's the person rather than God doing the work in their life, right? That what is happening through them that we're encouraged by or the Word of God that we hear, never get to the point where we think it's the man or the woman counselor or whatever it is, the minister, right, the encourager, the Barnabas, if you will, whatever it is, we should never get to a point where, like the Corinthians, we're put off because of who's coming to minister to us. Right? That's what's happening here. That's what's happening. You see it sometimes. God does a great work in a man's life and there's nothing wrong with the man or his doctrine or the church or anything else, and the church explodes and they do a great thing and all of a sudden he's a big man, right, in on the internet, on YouTube, on whatever, and he has a following now. And people like, well, so-and-so says. It went from, hey, he preached the Word of God, and the Word of God says this, and that's true, to this is what he says. There's a problem with that. There is a problem with that. And here they had this idea. They had put Paul on a pedestal. I mean, he's an apostle, after all. He started, you could just see it. He started our church, you know. And that's who they wanted. When he said, I'm going to send Timothy, he knew their heart, he knew their attitude, and that there was going to be a problem. You may not be guilty of putting a Christian servant on a pedestal, but you may be guilty of simple favoritism, right? Don't discount a minister of God because they simply aren't who you like. By the way, you don't have to be best friends with everybody. I mean, you don't, right? You don't have to have this deep connection with everybody. We ought to love the brethren. We ought to. But that doesn't mean that, everybody is exactly the person that you want to spend every day with, okay? That's okay. But just because somebody isn't your preferred person doesn't mean that you should treat them differently, especially if they're ministering in the Lord. Like if somebody were to take over the pastorate, well, they will at some point at Bellevue Baptist Church, right? There shouldn't be a comparison between the old pastor and the new pastor. And yeah, but the old pastor did it this way, or maybe you like the new guy better, which probably be more likely, right? Whatever it is, because this is about respecting the position of God working through the individual, not the individual. Paul fears that this spiritually immature church that thought they were mature would bring adversity to the ministry, right? Paul says, God's doing a great work in Ephesus. The lost is bringing adversity to the work of the gospel, but that's to be expected. It's okay. God's doing the work. He says, the brethren should never bring adversity. Never bring adversity to the work of the gospel. Right? So Timothy comes. I'm going to send Timothy to you, but I'm worried. I'm worried that you who thinks you're so spiritually mature, etc., said that you're going to bring adversity to both Timothy and the situation. They are at risk of missing the fact that what is needed in a minister is the working of God, not their particular talents or skill sets or even demeanor. I'm thankful that God can and does use anybody. Intellectual giants and just faithful folks with little academic training. White collar, blue collar. It really just comes down to their willingness to be used of God and to walk with Him. We need to make sure that we value God's working in His servants rather than the man or woman that is bringing something, that we think that they're bringing something to the table, right? That's not the value. It's God. Because when we start thinking that way, we're going to start showing some respective persons. It's not appropriate. And heaven forbid we get to the point where we feel slighted because someone is going to minister to us other than whom we want. And that's exactly what was happening. See, Paul knew that there would be potential adversity from the brethren upon Timothy's coming and Paul's absence, because he says, let no man despise him. Those are like harsh words. Hey, church. I mean, let's rephrase it. Hey, church, I'm sending my beloved, faithful son in the faith, a minister of the gospel who has done great things to you. Don't despise him. Like, what in the world? That just sounds crazy. Yet he knew that that's potentially where they would go. Seems odd that a gospel preacher and missionary would receive adversity from the brethren of a church that his mentor started, doesn't it? But this is a pretty harsh warning. Let no man despise him, so that he would be with you without fear. Now, some say, well, Timothy was young and he was just weak. Now, Timothy was young, but he wasn't weak as far as mental or social, abilities. No. Paul says this about Timothy in Philippians 2:19 through 23, but I trust in the Lord Jesus to send Timotheus shortly unto you, which, by the way, this seems to be his pattern, right? So it's not like he's never done this before, that I also may be of good comfort when I know your state. For I have no man like-minded who will naturally care for your state, for all seek their own, not the things which are Christ Jesus. But you know the proof of him, that as a son with the Father he hath served with me in the gospel. Him therefore I hope to send presently, as soon as I shall see how it will go with me. No. It appears even Timothy was jailed for his faith and work in the gospel at some point. Hebrews 13:23. Know ye that our brother Timothy is set at liberty, with whom, if he come shortly, I will see you? So it isn't that Timothy is this very timid little, man that just can't take adversity, or can't take new situations, and he's never been to Corinth, and so he just doesn't know. No, that is not an appropriate picture. He knows exactly that this very worldly, very selfish, very self-centered church is going to be ticked off, if I can say it that way, because the person that they want to come minister to them isn't going to be the one that ministers. And so they would cause Timothy to fear and despise him. That's pretty harsh. It's pretty harsh. Now, you know what the major reason? What shows us that reason, I think conclusively, is if they couldn't get Paul, you know who they wanted? Apollos. Let's